Okay, this is my wife's 2007 Monte Carlo SS. I did the timing chain on it, oil pump, tensioner, water pump, everything's brand new, all new pulleys. I have not fully assembled this engine yet because if I'm off a tooth, yeah, I might at that point. I think I'd rather have a root canal than have to do this all over again. So, yeah, but I wanted to start this before I put the whole water pump assembly on because that's this big old bastard right here. It's got, this assembly here, water pump, all that stuff, all your pulleys, your bracket for your power steering pump. It's still over on the table, but I didn't want to get that all put back together again. Get the belt back on, fire this thing up, and then it goes bang, 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 or hiccups, coughs, sputters, backfires, because I got it off one tooth, which can happen. I lined the dots up, but things go south sometimes. Okay, so this motor is still sitting down 3 or 4 inches. It's still sitting on the, let me come up in front here. Ignore the front of this car being off. I was doing something else. It was easy to take the front end of this off, and there's a few broken pieces of plastic, but you can see that the engine cradle is still sitting on the engine stand, so I have not even lifted it back up again. It's just sitting there. So, all right, 2 words of advice before I start this thing. I keep my fingers crossed. One, there's that, we all know about, you've seen videos of that, the nightmare pickup tube bolt. Why they didn't put it on the other side, I don't know. Getting it out is a pain in the ass. Getting it back in is a nightmare. It really is. It took me forever. 2 words of advice. One, put paper towels inside the oil pan, stuff them down behind her so if the bolt falls off, it goes to the paper towel and doesn't roll down to the bottom of the oil pan, and then you're having to do even more work either to get it out of there or just ignore it and hope it never becomes a problem later on. But yeah, put paper towels in there because I had the bolt come off one time. I had a wire I was using to hold it, and then it came off, and it didn't roll down. I was able to take my magnet and get it out of there without any problem. So paper towel. Next advice: go get some thin forceps, like you see the doctors use. Go to Harbor Freight, get the really set of thin forceps. That'll allow you to reach in there because you only got this much room. Reach in there with those forceps, and you can turn that bolt while lifting up on it, and you can get it back in place again. When I did that, it took me 15 minutes to get that bolt. I fought that bolt for 2 or 3 hours, but once I got the thin forceps, I guess it held my tongue right and went right back up in here again. But okay, so can I start this motor now? It doesn't have a power steering pump on it. It does not have water pump, power steering pump, so no fluid should be moving through this engine. So I'm going to try to start this thing now and hope like hell that it fires right up and it idles smoothly, because if I'm off a tooth, it'll sputter, spit, backfire. Yeah, not good. All right, but I said, ignore the front of the car being on the ground. That's different. I was doing something else on the front because there's some broken plastic pieces. Engine cradle is still sitting down. It's not even bolted in place. For advice, don't forget about the cold air tube that goes from the breather or your filter to the intake. It tore mine, so I got sitting over there. I ordered a new one, but that's 30 bucks I did have to spend if I'd remembered to do that. It's 18-year-old plastic, but oh well. So don't forget to take that off. All right, let's see what happens. I got the battery temporarily installed. All right. If this doesn't work, I think I'd rather have a root canal than have to do this again. All right. Fired right up. Alright, like I figured, nothing's pumping, so no mess. Idle is nice and smooth. I gotta finish tightening down the harmonic balancer to get it fully seated. The intake is open right now because of the tube missing, so let's see that when I give it gas. Nice and smooth. Alright, sweet. Alright, we're all good to go. Alright, sweet, I did it right. I was worried about being off a tooth. Let me roll this window up on the car. All right. Turn it off. Okay, good. I don't have to do it over. So yes, you can start the car without it being fully assembled, and it'll be just fine because you only run it for a few minutes long to make sure that it actually starts and does not backfire, spit, and sputter. So, don't forget about the intake tube for your filter. I think that's everything. I hope that helps somebody. But like I said, best word of advice on that little bolt is paper towel, stuff into the oil pan. Someone else did that, and I go, that's a good idea, and get some thin forceps, or you're going to kill yourself when I get that little bolt back in there. But yes, you can do this without dropping the oil pan, if you're careful. Lots of videos on YouTube on how to get that bolt out and get it back in. That's the hard part about this, is that little bolt on the pickup tube that goes to the oil pump on these LS motors. So other than that, it's really not that big a deal, but yeah, like I said, if I did this second time, I'd rather have another root canal. So, okay, yeah, when I asked mechanics about doing this, these new age mechanics, yeah, I won't repeat what they said. Let's just say, yeah, it wasn't very nice. I don't blame them. Yeah, the F-bomb was dropped several times. F that. So, it is not a job that you jump right into unless you're familiar with engines. I've been working on cars most of my life. I've changed timing chains. I will say this is the worst. I got my Chevelle that I'm working on. I got my Rice rat rod, and it's wintertime. Everything's shoved out of the way right now so she can get her car in the garage. For some reason, Miss Princess doesn't want to be outside in the cold and the snow. She has to have her car in the garage. You know, meanwhile, I put my Chevelle I'm working on, in the corner. So, but I'm kind of joking about that. I had no problem with her putting her car in the garage. Okay. I hope that helps. Good luck on your 5.3 liter V8 timing chain, because after about 120, this is 110,000 miles. Where's that timing chain at? It's in pieces. Let's see. Here's water pump, oil pump. I'm not seeing where they put it at. So yeah, but it was in pieces when I opened up the car. It was in pieces. It was leaking. The rear main seal was leaking on this car, and I took it to the transmission shop. They dropped the transmission. They changed the rear main seal, and while they then they found the oil pan was leaking, so they went and dropped the oil pan, replaced that. When they had it down, they found a piece of metal from the the tensioner. They found that in the oil pan, and I knew exactly where it came from, and it was a tensioner. I don't see where that. I'm looking for it. I don't see where I put it at. I thought I put all my parts down there, so I don't know where it went. But yeah, it is in pieces, and sure enough, when I pulled that cover off, it just fell out. So 110,000 miles is how many miles this car has on it, and it was toast. So at some point, if you have a 5.3 liter V8, you're going to have to do this, because this is 18 years old, I think. Yeah, and that's about the life of this part. If I'd waited any longer, this is an interference engine. If you let it go and it jumps timing by a couple teeth, it will destroy itself. You'll have valves meeting pistons. Yeah, they will be saying hello, and you'll be saying goodbye to that engine. So don't put it off for too long. If you get about 110, 15,000 miles in these engines, you know, suck it up and get it fixed, because they actually say 130,000 miles. Yeah, this one has 110,000 miles on it, and that thing was already falling apart. So, okay, done being dad here. All right, good luck on your repairs. Let you know you can keep the motor down on the engine stands. It's not even, like I said, there's the top motor mount, and there's two back in the holding still in place. Two in the front are down. You can start this car at this point to make it easier to fix if you're off a tooth or two. Hopefully not two, because that can get bad. One tooth is just going to run like crap. So, okay. Good luck on your repair. Peace.